Now, we said God is the arbiter. So is God going to be arbiter in a case where he himself is a party to a covenant? The answer is yes. In Hebrews chapter 6, verse 16 to 18, Hebrews 6, 16 to 18, the Bible here speaking about the covenant he entered into with Abraham. He said, for men indeed swear by the greater, and an oath for confirmation is for them an end of all disputes. We swear before an arbiter, before a judge. If you have to swear to an affidavit, for example, you have to do it before a judge or a registrar or whatever they call them now. You will stand there and you will swear to the oath and sign. It is approved. Now, in this particular case, who was God going to swear to? Because there's none greater than him. In verse 7, it says, thus God determining to show more abundantly to the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath, that by two immutable things in which it is impossible for God to lie, we might have strong consolation who have fled for refuge, to lay hold of the hope set before us. God said, by myself I swear. Now, God didn't need to do that. But he wanted us to know that he is bound by his promise. The Bible says two immutable things. He cannot lie. He has made a promise. He has sworn to an oath. So he's bound. And that gives us consolation. That gives us, what do I call it now? An anchor. A strong anchor that we can depend on and say, God is not going to jettison us. He's not going to throw us away. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6, just read from verse 1 to verse 6 or so. It says, dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unrighteous and not before the saints? Do you not know that the saints will judge the world? And if the world will be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Do you not know that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? If then you have judgments concerning things pertaining to this life, do you appoint those who are least esteemed by the church to judge? I say this to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you, not even one who will be able to judge between his brethren? But brother goes to law against brother, and that before unbelievers? That's a question. Why are we doing that? Or rather, an exclamation. Because he's wondering, why would two believers? We can understand a believer and an unbeliever. We can understand that because if you have to go to court. But two believers, so you have a problem and you do not have somebody in the body that can judge between the two of you, that you will take the matter to court before an unrighteous judge. Now, not all judges are unrighteous today. Thank God there are judges who are Christians, who are born again. But generally speaking, because you don't even know which judge will be handed over your case. So you say, why do you go to court? Over a matter, are you saying that there is nobody amongst the people whom God has said will judge angels, capable to judge a situation between two brothers? Is that what we are saying? And that is something that we need to, ask ourselves. Are we saying that it is impossible for us to find people who can adjudicate between two believers? If such a matter, you cannot find somebody, then leave it in the hands of God. That's what he says. Let me just read a little bit in verse 7. It says, now therefore, it is already an utter failure for you that you go to law against one another. Why do you not rather accept wrong? Why do you not rather let yourselves be cheated? Leave it in the hands of God. Two believers, leave it in the hands of God. Let's even assume you don't have anybody you can go to, then live in the hands of God. So God is the arbiter between two Christians. Is the arbiter, is the unseen judge. He's the one who judges an agreement and says, this is an agreement.